Actually, this is a linear media. We can only talk to you straight. We can't talk among ourselves. Thank you very much. How much time I can take? How much time? Yeah, a few minutes. So at the outset, let me just congratulate Shames Kumar for conducting such a conference, that too based on facts and journalism. Many people, I think, must have spoken about the oxymoron content of that title, that is facts and journalism. But more than Shames, I think I should thank his daughters, Devika and Mayura. If they hadn't taken the lead, I don't think Mathrubhumi would have conducted such a seminar. See, as Mark Twain said, if you don't read newspapers, you are uninformed. If you read newspapers, you are misinformed. So, actually, if you had spoken about the type of journalism we practice at that time, you can just imagine the plight of journalism that is around us or in which we are. Now, coming to the facts. What is facts? What is truth? For example, it's like a Mahabharata, Yudhishthira's dilemma. If Yudhishthira said that Ashwatthama is dead, that's a fact, but it's not a truth. Just like that, the sordid episode of Mahabharata gets repeated in journalism in much more visible way nowadays. I don't think many media organizations can conduct such workshops or seminars in the name of fact. My friend Avinash was saying that the television channels have been spoiled because of the bark. If there was no bark, the television channels would have been upright and would be disseminating the information or news. I don't think even M.G. Radhakrishnan would agree to that. See, basically, as Goenka was telling, what are the challenges? According to me, there are external challenges and internal challenges. As Fallius Nariman said that, indeed we have freedom of speech, but do we have freedom after the speech? That's a pertinent question. We have freedom till we speak. After we speak, do we have freedom? That question is very pertinent nowadays. If we put out an article, if we put out something, R.K. Lakshman's cartoon was shown here. If we put out a similar cartoon in a mainstream newspaper here, I think editor would be behind the bars. That's the plight of the journalism which has come to the fore nowadays. Now, I have 2-3 questions to the audience. Have we become inclusive? Have we become representational? Have we drifted away from facts and truth? The so-called freedom of media, if it were to be, say, 5 on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 years back, what is that now? Why is it that the formal media is complaining with regard to the social media? As my friend Mr. Ulleg was saying that, because there is a challenge on the social media. The former media is behind by many light years. Many light years. And if we are not giving the facts, naturally the social media would cater to the audience. There will be a lot of issues there. We are seeing that. The WhatsApp university that has emerged now, that's a result of that. But I would say the failure of the formal media has spiraled this so-called movement of social media matrix. That is something which we all who represent the former media need to understand. See, as I am an editor, I am also a member of parliament. Actually, I am demonstrating my bias there. My bias, in inverted comma, if at all it is a bias. Even me heading Kairali TV, I am declaring my intent, my editorial policy. But don't you think that we need to demonstrate all the so-called bias? None of you are demonstrating that. You all have bias. The media has got bias. The first and second press commissions exhorted that we need to delink media from the industrial houses. We need to delink the media from the industrial houses. Can you think of a media now which doesn't have industrial interest now? The biggest network in the country is owned by none other than Mukesh Ambani. Now, since Mukesh Ambani is owning maximum channels and networks, now Adani also has got into the picture. So what do you expect the media to disseminate? If at all, it's owned by corporates. That's the pertinent question which we need to address. Now, we all say that the media has fallen prey to the aggression of the government. Naturally. I think one of the previous speakers was Ruben Banerjee, who was the editor of Outlook. He was summarily sacked. Not because he upheld journalism, but because his writings, his editings were hurting the industry, Raheja's group. So the moment a media is owned by a corporate, in this ambience, you should expect that facts and truth would be sacrificed at that altar. So these are the constraints I think we need to think about it. A very interesting thing is that nowadays people get facts in the newspapers, not from the news, but from the advertisements. People say that at least the ads would be more truthful to the reality than the news. So this is a situation where we have reached. And I think we all need to deliberate. At least this is a welcome step that a media organization has come forward to have such a discussion. Now, let us think about the representational nature of the media. See, 20 crore population in the country, I would say, do not have a representation in executive, in legislature, judiciary, or in the media. 20 crores people. In Kerala, we had a hangama here when the fifth minister was added from the Muslim community. Fifth minister. I think editors of Kerala would be aware of that. Muslim League got a fifth minister in the cabinet. Radhakrishnan, how much airtime you must have spent on that? Shreyams Kumar also must have spent a lot of... You are not editor, okay. That is the easiest way to the control of the media. See, if Kerala, it created a ruckus. Think about the country where 20 crores people do not have a representation in the cabinet, in the media, in the judiciary. The media doesn't have an issue at all. So we all should think that how the media has drifted. 30 years back, what was the media? What is the media now? A perfect auditing needs to be done. Without having an introspection, if you think that the way forward, what is that? A fact-based journalism is a winning proposition. First of all, where are the facts? Where is the truth? Whose interest you protect? 90% of the population in this country do not even get 1% of the representation in the media. It's not what I say, it's what people who have studied about the media says that. Avinash's friend, my friend too, sitting in the newsroom and the studio says that the nation wants to know many a time. He doesn't even represent 0.5% of the viewers or the population. But still, people wants to know. Nation wants to know. What's the truth? See, we have secluded large chunks of population from the media. We don't give any representation to them. So, issues, one is external, second is internal, third, the challenges that the new media must be posing to you, and we need to introspect on that. And we had newspapers 2 centuries back. Raja Ramahan Roy, he brought out a Persian newspaper. See, at that time, he used the newspaper for the social reformation. He fought against sati, untouchability, child marriage, curses. The brilliant journalists India had. Mahatma Gandhi was one of the brilliant journalists. Ambedkar was that. Tilak was that. See, nowadays we think that just because we are away from the people, we are professional journalists. What we call about is professionalism. What is this professionalism after all? What do you do? See, the professionalism is needed to cater the people. So my view is that unless the media start engaging with the society, you would be quite away from the reality. And that reality is going to kill you. In America, there was a referendum or there was a survey to assess the credibility of each profession. It's an interesting anecdote to read that. So the credibility of the journalists were pegged just half a notch above the second-hand car dealers. The credibility of the journalists in America was seen to be just half a notch above the second-hand car dealers. Think about the fact that if at all we have a survey in India to decide about the credibility of the journalists, do a survey among the people, what could be the result of that? It stares at us, actually. We need to introspect. So I think that when we talk about facts, we need to think whose facts it should be and who we represent and what is the plight of the journalism now. Have we gone far away from the people? Have we become exclusive? Are we not, why we are not inclusive? Why we are not expressing or representing the facts and the real issues of the people? I think this session, or rather this workshop, should help the journalist at least to get an idea about what is around us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.